So don't worry, there's going to be plenty of videos highlighting the new Hypogean hero Phraesto over the weekend and even later today. However, I wanted to make sure it was clear I am not hyping this hero up. I try to find fun things with heroes, trying to make them work. I did it with Soren. I'm doing it with this hero. Just because I'm having fun and it looks good doesn't necessarily mean you should build this hero. That's what today's video is about. Do not build this hero, especially if you are even a low spender, mid spender, free to play. This is not the hero for you. The hero that is for you is Reinier. In the early, mid, whatever game you are, there should be absolutely one goal you have, and that is working your Reinier up to Mythic Plus. Most of you probably already have a Legend, maybe even Legend Plus, even as a free-to-play, and getting up to Mythic is no short task because it takes a total of 8 copies to make your way there compared to the 6 it takes for like an S-level hero. And why is that so important? Well, because of Tuned Art, the exclusive weapon unlocked at Mythic Plus. We don't really care about the damage he does, any of that. Basically what's going to be happening though is when we do that dynamic balance, which switches the ally on your side with the enemy on the far side, that is going to make them take 25% more damage. That is really good. That is why he's used in every boss mode, like literally every single boss. Reinier is part of the best composition, because how else do you compete with 25% more damage? Doesn't matter how much defense reduction you're doing, bonus other damage. This is just straight up 25% more damage. And then building him to plus 10 reduces that switched ally's damage by 25%, which is a huge survivability boost, as you guys have seen with heroes like Soren, also who have survivability issues. This solves it a lot, and then in combination that it is dynamic balance, they're getting tons of healing too. This is why you have to build Reinier to Mythic Plus first, and absolutely positively, hands down, don't even consider building this hero right now, and we're going to go into exactly why. The first big reason is, even at 1 copy, this hero is not very useful. I tried getting some valid content out of it. I could not. Granted, Reinier, even at 1 copy, at least gets that healing portion of dynamic balance, which also manipulates the battlefield. He's usable straight from a single copy, as a lot of support heroes are. The downside with Phraesto is the fact that he is a tank, and tanks need to be able to tank damage. You know what helps tank damage? Stats. You know what one single copy doesn't have? Stats. So this is a hero you cannot afford to not max out. Even in our situation, where I have him at Supreme, you can see the difference in power. More than a 10% increase in HP just from going from Supreme to Supreme Plus, and you see an additional defense and magic from physical and all those things. Proficiency goes up. All these things are so important, and then beyond that, getting to Supreme Plus with him is huge because it gives both him and his illusion a gigantic shield at the beginning of battle. His normal kit is okay. However, there's a couple things severely missing, and it's heavily reliant on this equipment right here. Number one is the fact that when the illusion dies, it deals damage to a target and stuns them for 4.5 seconds. If you don't have this unlocked, it simply does not stun. Beyond that, there was an issue earlier yesterday where it was actually the summon was resummoning itself at plus 10. It was corrected to be plus 15 now, which kind of sucks. Most heroes get their kind of unique ability at plus 10. Phraesto is at plus 15. And this is where he'll summon another copy of his illusion if the first one dies and he is still alive. The fact that you have to invest to plus 15 to really get the max benefit out of this hero and need to go to Supreme Plus, this is probably the most whale intensive Hypogean or Celestial out there, because let's be honest here. I have Scarlita at Mythic Plus. She feels pretty good. I have Reiner at Mythic Plus. He feels pretty good. I even have, where is he? Up the top, Beryl at Mythic Plus, a damage dealer. He still feels perfectly fine. Yes, all of them do get enhanced with their Mythic Plus, but they get kind of side benefits with their Supreme Plus. They're not like meta defining when we're taking a look, is this hero useful? Like, yeah, it can increase the attack for more. Yeah, you can do some additional things with these heroes, get more, you know, physical defense and magic defense and stuff, but they're not like needed. Whereas literally this is probably one of his most defensive passives besides the damage reduction you get for placing them in the same row as each other. And then let me not even like let's stay on topic. The shield would be huge at Supreme Plus. The stats are needed because he needs to be as tanky as hell. And the other weird thing is the fact that where is it here? Where's the one where is it just right in the beginning here? Yeah, if they're positioned in the same row, they take 30% less damage. That's pretty huge. That is big. But some of the maps make it really hard to position these heroes, and it's really, really tricky. His damage is interesting. We did find out that the end scorecard on end of battles don't count his illusion damage as damage for himself. So his damage is actually much higher than it's showing. It's just very deceptive. And beyond that, his provocation's okay. Taunting enemies within 2 tiles after using ultimate. I mean, like, I guess that's good. It's not like crazy good, but it's like all his really good stuff are locked way behind it. Even his hero's focus, getting him to legendary plus, increases his physical and magic defense by a ton, 30%. And then whenever one of them loses 10% of max HP, the other gains 25 energy. You can see right here, it's 50%. Like, you can see he has some crazy raw stats when it comes to physical defense and magic defense. His HP does fall a little bit behind. But yeah, I just can't see this being a good copy. Like, I tried doing one hero. I was going to make a whole video about, is one hero copy good? And I just came to like too fast of a solution of, no, it is not. There are some weird niche uses for him, like we showed you guys in King Croaker. It was like decent, nothing crazy, stupid, overpowered. I've tried him in normal PvP lineups going up against like some of the more traditional teams. I think I tried like a summoner team against like the more traditional team. It did not work very well. I tried him in like my Mauler team. It didn't really work very well. The only thing I could see him potentially like working really good with is like the traditional stall team where you have like Damien in your lineup, you chuck in a Haywin in your lineup, you're running Granny, you're going like that fully defensive team. If that's the case, it can work really well. But again, one of the only places I've really found him to be really great and excel is when you are pushing in the campaign and you're running a team kind of like this, where you're kind of going with this like interesting setup potentially where you don't even have to run your more traditional heroes. You can run heroes that are very much summoners, and I mean, if you're stupid like me and went with Belial, it's the perfect time to do it. This team doesn't do a ton of damage, but what it does have is a ton of survivability typically, especially with Coco getting an extremely quick ultimate off. You can see their HP dips low, but Damien does an amazing job since all the summoners just stand there in one little clump. Damien's healing is absolutely amazing with this squad, and you can see as you finally beat some enemies, they're working their way across the field, and with Belial on the team, the enemies just don't get energy enough to use their ultimates, which really helps the survivability of your team. So this is like the one few places I found really good uses for him. But again, I'm going to show you guys some teams this week that he really does thrive in. But overall, I want to make sure everybody is aware I'm not going to hype this hero up. He does have some uses, but it requires ridiculously heavy investment in him. That is the positive thing, because that means the power creep in this game is going very, very slowly. It's not as exciting when a new hero comes out, but at the same time, you're not having FOMO like I used my summons on the last one, now I don't have any for this one. So you can kind of play it a little more slow. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We're going to have a bunch of videos talking about this hero. So if you guys do love the aesthetic, you like the tank hero aspect, I'm going to show you guys how to use this hero to the best of my knowledge. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.